Good evening. I hope you're doing well when watching this video. Even though our course is about artificial intelligence, but today I would like to use a more casual, classic, uh, like a face-to-face video only to share about what my project is looking like, and the main point of the project I will be working in. So the topic I'm working in will be the AI shift in labor markets futures in Australia and New Zealand. So imagine one of a scheme that you wake up 9 a.m. you head back to the office or your work desk, and you realize that your work can be done by a machine, faster, cheaper, and without you don't even need a coffee break. Sounds like a science fiction, but it's already happening quietly in everywhere in New Zealand or in Australia where I'm from. In office, in farms, in factories, in workplace, the AI already starting to play this influence, and we are more likely at a turning point in our labor markets. Even though for New Zealand, we heard about the unemployment rate is rising. Many stakeholders, there will be many reasons to give an explanation. Maybe the global economics, political tension around the world, or the lack of a supply or increasing of the energy prices in the country. However, we can't ignore that how AI and its technology transformation playing its beat and how it is increasing the influence in our market. So we all know that the AI perform the task that humans can do. While in my viewpoint, how it different from the past, for example, industrial revolution or previous wave of automation. It doesn't also only automate physical works, but it also do the cognitive works as well. So AI, based on my research, it has already been accelerating in New Zealand and in Australia. So in New Zealand, the dairy farms already start deploying drones and machine version to monitor the health of the stocks or the pasture. In Western Australia, the mining trust is turning into autonomous running mode 24/7 without a human driver in dedicated routes. While in the bank in both New Zealand or the major banks and in Australia and the Asia Pacific region, AI trying to scan the million of transactions to detect the fraud, the potential risks to the customer, and send them alerts, a message. So in my project, I'm trying to analyze the deepest AI technology, how they drive the changes. We look into those generative AI, for example, those like ChatGPT you ever heard with. They can do like a simple or even advanced task for humans with the given instructions or directions. And in some cases, we can see the AI already start replacing the human resources. We also see the machine version in robotics. For example, those in the fruit farm, picking the fruits, or those in the farm institute to monitor the pasture condition. So we're able to see how the AI monitor the stuff in the real time manner. We also see they start doing all the analytics in the recruitment, logistics, or healthcare sessions. They're making more faster, accurate results generation. But for me, like in this project, what I'm focused into is how AI changes the labor market in New Zealand and Australia. Now, while during the research, we can see the New Zealand have a very stark picture in overall. We see some like high risk jobs like data entry clerks or those assistants or some supporting roles are being replaced by AI. While meanwhile we're seeing those low risk jobs, those require high level strategy, decision making, still having a smaller cohesion in the AI technology. The PwC they give up the estimation in by 2030, 46% of the New Zealand job face a very high automation risk. Well, we're looking into the how AI transforming the New Zealand and Australia working the labor market structure. We're not only looking into whether it's good or not, but we're trying to see if there's any opportunities and what is the risk and how do we mitigate those risks bringing to the labor market in the country. We can see there's productivity gains. Of course, the AI may be helpful to generate a higher output, especially those repetitive works. They free our hands to create more spaces for us to do creative works to be done. There is a new industry that may be incurred or introduced because of the AI. For example, the regulation in AI industry, the maintenance or the data ethics, or the engineering behind the AI. This is what we can capture, and this is what hasn't been ever happening in the last maybe say 10 to 15 years. We also see that helping the New Zealand to increase the global competitiveness. More and more small business or startup business, they can use the AI to reduce their workload. And those business in the rural or regional towns can use AI to compete internationally to bring their brand to international scope. If we can manage the AI well, we can help trying that to close up the production gaps, and in the long term to increase the competitiveness of New Zealand and Australia in the global market. But we're also seeing some, in my research, we also seeing some risk, especially in the short term, the AI is bringing to the country. Job displacement is one of the most iconic things. As I mentioned, like cognitive or manual rules. In some situation, we see the skills match, where the demand for those digital talent people is more rising faster than the training supply. Even though in New Zealand or in Australia, there's not a very centralized or a regulation to monitor how those AI training is regulated or being arranged. That all depends on the third party or private education provider. Whether we are also bringing some inequality if we introduce AI in an excessive manner. We see the benefit may flow to the technology urban workers, but will we leave the rural or regional people disadvantaged? And then we see this adjustment doesn't happen overnight. So we need the community with years and years of transformation and adaptation, and how to override those disruption before the new job enhance in the market. The other thing also correlated to the labor market under the AI influence is the legal and policy landscape. In Australia, there is an AI ethics principle being adopted that we emphasize in the fairness and the privacy and transparency of the job description, but they're more like a voluntary. There's no regulation from the government that restricting private entities to enforce these entities and principles. For New Zealand, we have a algorithm charter promoting the transparency of government-only use of the AI technology, but again, it's voluntary. So we can see a very clear gap that no law specifically governing the AI using in both countries, and there's a relatively weak enforcement on the bias and discrimination, or more we'll be saying is like unknown in this stage. But we're comparing with the European Union charts and the acts, where they have a binding rules classifying the AI by the category of risk. It may be something we need to look into how we structure our future regulation to enhance the competitiveness, but also the fairness to everyone, to all the stakeholders. The other thing that arises from the AI technology in the labor force will be the ethical and the diversity and the sustainability issues. More in broader scale, the equity. The disruption is not only on the economics because of interference with the labor market, but also the values. For example, in the regional area in Australia, they have less and less stable connection to the internet, does it mean that they will miss out the AI opportunities? Well, the training of the large AI models also incur very high costs and consume electricity, especially with those large entities that have a very great and big carbon emissions compared to other industry. Is it also fair in terms of climate concerns? So they are not only the side issues, but they are those when the AI improves the society or deepening their effects. This is what we will be looking to, and this is what I'm going to cover in my report, in my research as well. Global pressures is another great point. The AI platform can work 24/7 technically. The talent competition is global, with AI engineers high demand worldwide. So that means that for New Zealand and Australia, the AI policy cannot be developed in the isolation. It has to be compete and enhance and mesh and connect with the global frameworks to remain competitive and ethical. There are a few suggestions that I was suggesting to how we act under the 4 pillars. The national upskilling and reskilling programs, focusing in the AI literacy in the global population or in the national population. The mandatory bias audits, the social safety nets for transition, for example, wage insurance, wage protection, and the proper way for the redundancy to protect those workers, and the green AI standards that protect the energy efficiency when we're doing those AI development, that will balance the effect on our environment and our country's labor competitive power. In my project, I also do the 2 deeper studies in the New Zealand dairy sector, where they start using the AI to analyze the condition of the pastures, and the one in the mining sector in Western Australia, which automation is starting to increase the stream, where many of the fly out workers and the mining industry workers is starting concerning their benefit and the future competitiveness when the AI is greater being introduced in the workforce. So in my despite my report is still in the intermediate sessions, but I'm pretty sure we have 2 choice to action, which is, first of all, let the AI disruption happen to us, right? This is more like an unplanned way, so we can try to adopt with the change that AI bringing to us. Or in other way, we can shape the AI disruption. We predict with policy, with innovation, with fairness principle, as we stated. So in my conclusion, I would say the New Zealand and Australia can be the world leaders in human-centered AI, proving that the innovation does not have to become by the expense of the people and people's welfare. This issue has not been widely discussed by the public, because I know that many stakeholders, they still have a differentiated opinion towards how AI interferes in the labor market. But I'm pretty sure the conclusion is yes, it will in a great aspect. So back to my session, my question will be, how can we add, how can we adopt, what can we do based on the current influential trend of the AI in the New Zealand and Australian labor market, and what we can do then, and with the suggestion and with the analyze to bring it up more overall general view. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it brings up a little bit more of my point of my project and my assignment article. I'm looking forward for more questions and more ideas from you. Thank you.